Imagine an endless horizon of turquoise waters where the sea kisses the sky and white sands shimmer under the sun. And welcome to the Bahamas. An archipelago of over 700 islands scattered like pearls across the Atlantic. For most people, the name brings images of vacations, cruise ships, and cocktails under palm trees. But beneath this postcard image lies a history filled with triumph and tragedy, resilience and reinvention. What deeper truths wait to be discovered when we look beyond the paradise image of the Bahamas? Long before Europeans arrived, the islands were home to the Lucanian people, a branch of the Taino culture. They came by canoe, settling the islands with skills in farming, fishing, and crafting. Their villages were organized, their religion was spiritual, and their way of life was in balance with nature. The Lucanians farmed cassava and sweet potatoes, dove for conch shells, and made ornaments from bones and seashells. They painted their bodies, sang stories, and built a community that thrived for centuries. But in 1492, this fragile balance was broken. Christopher Columbus made landfall here, calling the island San Salvador. What followed was catastrophic. Within just a few decades, the Lucanians disappeared, wiped out by disease, enslavement, and forced relocation. How might the story of the Bahamas have unfolded if the Lucanian people had survived to shape the nation's future? With the Lucanians gone and the Spanish uninterested in building settlements, the Bahamas became a lawless frontier. By the 1600s, it was a pirate haven. Its shallow waters and hidden coves became a playground for outlaws like Blackbeard, Anne Bonny, and Calico Jack. Nassau became the infamous Pirate Republic. But this wasn't random chaos. Pirates built codes of honor, shared loot, and sometimes gave power to the marginalized, including escaped slaves and women. For a moment, Nassau was a capital of rebellion, freedom, and terror. The British Crown had enough. In 1718, Woodes Rogers arrived as royal governor with a mission: crush piracy. His motto, expulses pirates, restituta commercia. Pirates expelled, commerce restored, marked the end of an era. Was the age of piracy a golden rebellion against empire, or simply another chapter of violence on the high seas? After piracy, the Bahamas entered another dark age. Slavery under the British Empire. Plantations of cotton and sisal were built, and enslaved Africans were forced to toil under brutal conditions. Their sweat and suffering built the colony's wealth. But unlike in larger colonies, many Bahamian Africans carved out small freedoms. They fished, farmed, and created cultural practices that blended African traditions with island life. This became the foundation of Bahamian identity: music, dance, storytelling, and spirituality rooted in survival. In 1834, slavery was abolished across the British Empire. The Bahamas transformed. Freed Africans built settlements, churches, and traditions that still define Bahamian culture today. How do people reclaim dignity and identity when they emerge from centuries of bondage? After the American Revolution, thousands of loyalists, colonists who remained loyal to Britain, fled to the Bahamas. They brought enslaved Africans, wealth, and new ideas, reshaping Nassau with grand houses and plantations. Moreover, migrations didn't stop there. Over the centuries, Sponge divers, fishermen, and traders moved in and out of the islands. The Bahamas was never static. It was always reshaped by people on the move. How does a nation build a true identity when its roots are drawn from so many different migrations? If you're enjoying this cinematic journey, don't forget to gently tap that like button. It helps us share more hidden histories from around the world. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to join our growing community of explorers. Now let's keep going. The 20th century pulled the Bahamas into global history. During World War II, American and British forces built bases here, turning the islands into military outposts. This brought jobs, infrastructure, and a taste of modernity. But after the war, tourism exploded. The Bahamas became a tropical playground for celebrities, millionaires, and travelers. Hotels rose, cruise ships arrived, and Nassau became a symbol of paradise. Still, beneath the glamour, ordinary Bahamians asked, who really benefits from this paradise? Can a country truly thrive if prosperity is built for outsiders rather than its own people? By the mid-20th century, power in the Bahamas rested in the hands of a small white elite known as the Bay Street Boys. But a new voice rose: the Progressive Liberal Party, led by Lynden Pindling. They demanded equality and independence. In 1973, the Bahamas became an independent nation. The Union Jack was lowered, and the Bahamian flag, black for the people, aquamarine for the sea, and yellow for the sun, was raised. The nation was free at last. What emotions surged through Bahamian hearts when their own flag rose over Nassau for the first time. Today, the Bahamas is far more than a tourist postcard. Its people celebrate with Junkanoo, a festival of music, color, and dance that honors African roots. Bahamian music, from rake and scrape to modern pop, carries the voices of resilience. But challenges remain: hurricanes, climate change, and the struggle to balance tourism with protecting the fragile environment. Time and again, Bahamians rebuild, proving their spirit cannot be broken. How does such a small island nation continue to inspire the world with its resilience? The Bahamas is more than beaches. It is the story of people who endured loss, fought for freedom, and built joy out of struggle. Its waters have carried canoes, slave ships, pirate vessels, and cruise liners. Each wave carries a whisper of history. But the essence of the Bahamas is its people: survivors, creators, and dreamers. They remind us that paradise is not just a place, but a spirit. What lessons from the Bahamas can we carry into our own lives about resilience, identity, and joy? That brings us to the end of our journey through the Bahamas. If this story inspired you, consider subscribing, not as an obligation, but to keep traveling with us, one country at a time. Your support lets us continue uncovering hidden histories. We've now started countries that are starting with the letter B, from the snowy mountains of Bhutan to the sunlit shores of the Bahamas. Each one revealed stories of courage, struggle, and wonder. Thank you for being part of this adventure. Until next video for Bahrain, keep your curiosity alive.